Hello and welcome back to Just Start Show. Thank you for being with the show, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to continue with what we have been discussing. So we were discussing about characteristics of a bad communicator, and we've discussed about 30 characteristics. And to continue with, I just would want to expand the list, and here are a few more observations that is there. Misinterpreting cues. A bad communicator usually misinterprets cues, either from the audience or from either in terms of message or in terms of body language, so that they don't respond in the right manner because they misinterpret. Sometimes they also overreact to cues, whatever body language or thoughts or ideas from the audience, they overreact. So misinterpretation of cues. Overuse of filler words. This often happens using yes, yeah, these are all filler words. So they overuse filler words rather than getting onto the topic and constructing a meaningful sentence and taking it forward. Rudeness. Sometimes they are very rude. Sometimes they are rude to the audience, even to the extent of being rude to themselves. And rudeness isn't a real characteristic of a good communicator. So you have to necessarily avoid that, avoid being rude. Ignoring boundaries, not knowing where to start in terms of personal and professional boundaries and where to stop. So they sometimes exceed or they don't limit to boundaries. Excessive self-focus. They are too very self-conscious. They are focused too very much. They are self-absorbed, self-involved, and self-absorbed, and focus more on themselves. And they become too very self-conscious. They have difficulty in summarizing. They don't know how to summarize their thought. They have problems with that because they have poor memory, which again is a bad characteristic. They don't know where they started and how they ended and where they should stop, where they should start, because they are disorganized in their understanding. And inappropriate timing. They start their conversation in inappropriate timing. They don't understand the value of it. They don't understand at what time they should start the conversation, what time they should close the conversation, so on and so forth. Overcomplicated. They overcomplicate with too many jargons or too very complicated things which is not understandable by the audience. They overcomplicate it. Overcomplication is also a bad communication. Overly formal language, of course, yes, they're too very overly formal in the language. They keep repeating. They keep repeating themselves. So repetition means that they don't have connect with the conversation that they are engaged in. They've lost track of it. So they keep repeating. Underestimating the audience. They have problems in estimating the audience level. They underestimate the audience. So that's why they are completely haywire when it comes to the conversation or to the setting. Excessive multitasking. They keep on speaking, they do something else, they keep on doing this, doing that, and it's to the level of distracting the audience. So too much of multitasking also is bad communication. When you're talking, your focus should be on the message and the audience. Excessive self-disclosure, where to start and where to end when it comes to personal information. It sometimes puts the audience in a discomfortable situation. So we'll have to avoid that. Failure to establish rapport. This is the first of all characteristic that makes a bad communicator. They fail to rapport and develop a rapport. Rapport is connecting with the audience, getting involved, getting connected with the audience. So they fail in developing this rapport. So that's why they become a bad communicator. Failure to acknowledge contributions. They don't acknowledge contributions made by others. That also makes them a bad communicator. So these are a few tips that I thought I should share with you. Thank you very much for staying put. We'll get connected and keep sharing, keep watching. And there are a lot of interesting things that we can do with this particular space. Thank you very much.